Man, welcome back to the Fake Stuff Podcast. So we are back at it again, doing what we do, and let's talk about our fake stuff dynasty content. If you know what, I haven't ever said this on the podcast. If you go to our YouTube page and everything's split up into playlists, so if you want to check out our dynasty content, you're in the dynasty mode. Go hit the playlist, dynasty playlist. You want to get our redraft episode? Go to the redraft. It's all there for you. It's split up perfect. But thanks for listening to the podcast. This is what me and the Craft Man we fucking do. We talk about the fake stuff. And if you're new to us, we do the dynasty, but gambling's probably our biggest thing in the year is gambling. But we talk redraft, we talk dynasty. Heck, if you ask us some keeper questions, we'll do the best we can. I'm in zero keeper league, so but yada yada. I'm just going off on a tangent. Craft Man, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. We're just excited to talk to these other rookie running backs. Like I might be even more excited about these. I like digging in the weeds a little bit, finding some of the running backs that maybe most people ain't quite as excited about, because it sure does look better when you make that pick in like your third round of your rookie draft and they just end up being a starter for your team all season long. But like you said, with the podcast, like we covered the dynasty, the redraft, the gambling, and all that stuff. I would say we all got things that we're better at for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely, when it comes to what we do here at the Fake Stuff Podcast, the weakest part of our game right here, because we do watch college football, but it's like we're not scouting these players and. We're real big into the strategy talk here. Like, we like to give episodes of strategy. We like to talk about the players and what, we're going to be getting deep into that all year. But it's like rookies, it's rookie season time. It's time to sit down and watch a little film. But we're not going to be up here speaking in absolutes, talking like, man, dude, you don't even know how to evaluate RVs, bro. Like, I'm not going to be up in your grill like that. Like, and the reason why I say that, crap, man, is because you know me. I always got to say something about the Twitter streets. These motherfuckers, man, I'm telling you, man. Like, I mean, they'll be like getting mad at you, like, dude, you don't even know how to evaluate prospects, man. And it's just these guys on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, this is.
It'd be killing me.
At this point of year, it's really like rookie 101. It's like the initiation for like the main class, the main class that you're going to take later on. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, at this point of the year, when you're looking at the film and looking at the rookies, like, it's just such a small part. Like, you're really just learning the introduction to the class that you're taking. And then then you got to do the draft and you got to do the landing spot and everything like that. And then you can really start diving deep into it and just getting prepared for your rookie draft. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is I'm just kind of mellowed out with the looking at the tape and everything. And then once I start smelling blood in the water when the rookie draft comes around, it's like, all right, now it's time to really make my calls on some of these players.
Yeah, I'm with you. Craftman, do you just happen to hear that Duke to the Duke sound in my headphones? Okay, good. I was just wondering if you hear it. All right,
getting text messages over there.
Man, you know how it is. All right, yeah. Look, diving in, we've just reviewed 5. Check out our last episode. Henderson, Judkins, GNT, Hampton, Caleb Johnson. Go check out our breakdown on that episode 5. We got 5 more for you, and there's really a few more to talk about. If there's any that we missed, and I know me and Craftman, we know that we've missed a couple of them. Things changed. We just had the draft combine, stuff like that. So a couple names out there, me and Craftman, we're going to try our best to get to them. We'll probably go through some wide receivers and some other stuff first, but we're going to add some players that we missed throughout the way and break them down and watch, because there's some of them players I'm just not familiar with their game. Me and Craftman got 10 RBs right here in front of our face that we've watched. So just added to it a little bit. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Devin Neal, Kansas, 5'11", 213 pounds. Definitely one of my favorite ones, Craftman, I would say. I'm just wondering where this motherfucker's going in rookie drafts. I'm gonna have to start looking at some rookie mock drafts. Um, Personally, I thought Devin Neal wasn't even gonna come into the draft. I thought they Kansas wanted him back so bad. I had heard he was thinking about signing an NIL deal again. Coming back and doing it again. Devin Neal. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and say this, crap, man. I dove into these 5 running backs a little bit harder than I did the top 5. So, 3 down back, good at catching the ball. Last 2 seasons, 34 touchdowns, 2,452 rushing yards. My main thing, every player that I've said, I pointed out one thing that you notice the most. My main thing with him is he can make players miss, but stay fast. You know what I'm saying, Kraft man?
Yeah.
Dude is good, and he's a gamer, and I would rank him maybe ahead of 1 or 2 of the guys we talked about last episode. If I have to rank it and put it on a piece of paper, Devin Neal's like one that I don't want to drop. I would be real curious to see where this guy is going. Kraft man, it seems like you like Devin Neal as well. What say you?
Oh, I love Devin Neal. He was just like, I know you hear this a lot about running backs, but this one in particular, he does everything very well, but he doesn't do anything like great, like top end speed. He doesn't have like that trump card, where it's just like he's this elusive, he's this fast, he's this powerful, but he's got like really strong lower body. He's not as powerful as like Judkins and some of them other bigger guys like that, but his contact balance is really good. He's great at pass protection. Like you said, he's a gamer. I mean, he's been in Kansas his whole entire life, and he's produced every single year that he was at Kansas. Like they loved him over there, and I just felt like with him, I have a feeling he's going to end up going to some sort of role as like a very high end handcuff. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but like he reminds me. I mean, I'm a Packers fan, but like backing up Josh Jacobs, like it wouldn't be that big of a fall off if Devin Neal came in there and had to fill in a role after that. But I mean, I hope he goes somewhere where he can get the full workload. But I don't know if the draft is gonna really fit him like that. But I mean, I know I'm rambling a little bit, but some of the stuff I got on him, just average explosiveness and wiggle, but he's like subtle and effective. Hands are exceptional, one of the best in the class. And just we talk about, consistency in college, 3 years with over 1,000 yards. Like this dude durable and hasn't fell off, a single year when he was there. So, and I got some comps, man. I know you want some comps.
Man, go ahead, slide them on my way.
All right, low end comp. Clyde Edwards-Helaire when he was in college.
Right.
Kind of short, stocky, kind of bowling ball looking running back. And then a high end comp, Kyron Williams. Kyron, when you watch him play with the Rams, it's just like you don't see this breakaway speed. It's just like he's fighting for every single yard, and he does everything. Like he's a good pass blocker. Catch the ball real well, gets the yards out of there, tough running back in between the tackles. That's kind of how I feel about Devin Neal.
Yeah. One more stat that I always got to throw it in. Ball security. Dude only had 2 fumbles. And NFL teams, I'll say it all the time, NFL teams, they're going to love that shit. If you can pass protect and you can not fumble, you can go play for Jim Harbaugh any day. You know what I'm saying, Craftmans? So these guys – I don't really have much to say about Devin Neal other than I liked him. I liked all these guys, but I definitely like Devin Neal. He just one of them that stuck out to you where it was like, he's going to be good. He can be good, pretty good. I hope he goes somewhere with a good landing spot and all that. But yeah, like you're saying, high end handcuff. It ain't all that bad. You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see where he's going in these drafts. I can't wait to break down some rookie, and then heck for us to do some rookie mocks.
Yeah. He's not really that change of pace type back. He's more of a, it's kind of like Jamal Williams, throughout his career. Like he was always kind of he wasn't the focal point of the offense, but he was involved.
Right. All right, crap man. Well, I'm gonna move on to Skattebo, Cam Skattebo, and it was one of those things where I wasn't like too familiar with this game. You know, I had seen him. I had seen some of his highlights throughout the year watching college ball. But when it came Big 12 championship game time, that's when you start getting familiar with the game. And I was like, he's just one of them dudes that does it all too. Like I can definitely see why Skattebo, you know, I can see why NFL teams will like him. I can see why. My opinion with Skattebo is I wanted to come in. I had seen him. I knew he was so good, but I was just saying, what do I think about him when it comes to like NFL? My thing is speed with him. That's my only question about him would be speed. I mean, I just think he looks a little slow, but I mean, I don't know. I say that, but he's always falling forward. He's always gaining yards, and he's always breaking away. So I don't want to sit here and really say nothing bad about Skattebo, but 24 touchdowns, 2,300 total yards, receiving and rushing yards his final year. I mean, the dude was a fucking beast at Arizona State. Hey, and went toe-to-toe with Texas. He was getting shut down a little bit earlier, but as the game went on, he started busting them up, you know? Yeah, so, you know, Skattebo, I don't know. I mean, to me, he's like the hardest one to rank, in my opinion, because I think he's so good, but it's like, does it translate to the NFL? It feels like it probably does, but what say you, Kraft, man?
I mean, I think it translates to the NFL. Like I also went into it like, what's up with the hype on this guy? Like I'm talking to Ian and Levi, and they're like, man, I just want to get the 105 so I can get Skattebo. I was like, you don't even know where he's going. I was like, there's a lot of good running backs in this class, like a whole lot. He might be the 7th or 8th one, but you know, when I started watching him, I was like, all right, this dude always falls forward. Like he just wears the defense down. Like his 20th carry, he's running just as hard as his first carry. And what impressed me was just like his short area quickness. As big as he was, like his lateral quickness was really good. And he just looks for contact, and he just bounces off people. And I don't know how much that's going to work in NFL. But like you said, we didn't get to see him run the 40. I mean, I don't know how much it mattered, but you know, that top end speed, that's probably one thing that's not there. But very rarely in NFL are players busting off 20+ yard runs over and over anyway. Like you want the guy that's just gonna get you 5, get you 8, you know, just wear the defense down all game long. So I think I do think it translates over to the NFL.
100+ missed tackles this year. The only other player to do that was Ashton Jeanty this year. So dude was definitely balling. There's no doubt about it. Contact, balance, and power. That was my main thing with him. Another guy who doesn't go down. I mean, you don't even have to scout. You could just watch the games. You know, drink a beer, watch the game, and eat cheese dip, and be like, man, that dude, he just never fucking goes down. You know what I'm saying?
So, he looks mean too, man. He just looks mean.
So, you know, I hope he gets a good landing spot. We'll see how it goes. You know, we've talked about some of these landing spots last episode, but hopefully Cam Skattebo can find him a role to take over. I mean, what do you think he is, Kraft, man? You know, Devin Neal, we said he was a, you know, handcuff type of guy, but what do you see Skattebo as?
I mean, he's in that same boat as Neal, where it's like he could definitely be a starter and be a workhorse if he goes to the right situation. But with the thing that worries me the most, and we'll see what happens, is just the draft capital with Skattebo and Devin Neal, players like the ones we're talking about today. These guys aren't really projected to go day 2, but they could. Like any of these running backs could shoot up and be a day 2 pick. So it's like like Jalen Wright was. He was a day 2 pick. Nobody expecting him to be a day 2 pick. Like last year. So, you know, I just think it's going to depend on. I know it's a cop out, but you know, it's just got to depend on where he's going to be at. Like I see him with like the Browns for some reason. Like I feel like that'd be a good spot. Him and Jerome Ford back there.
Yeah. Heck, you say it's a cop out, but it's the truth. You just need even more information. You know what I'm saying? Like we got good information, but it's like we need a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
especially when we're talking about tearing these guys up and down and ranking them, it's like I gotta see some draft capital with these guys. I mean, they're all good enough to where it's like you can mix and match them. We're gonna give some pre. I'm sure we'll give some pre-draft rankings and get them on out there for everybody to see. But our real rankings are really gonna be right after the draft. So we'll have to see what I'm doing. Hopefully, I ain't working that night. I might have to hop on that night. You know what I mean, Craft Man?
For sure. For
Or at least that weekend or something. All right, let's move on to the next one. We got Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State, 6'1", 226. And here we got to give a little background on Ollie Gordon because he was one of the first guys I watched. Last year or how should I say it? 2 years ago. Doak Walker Award winner, but he was a sophomore. So the best running back in college football 2 years ago, was a sophomore. So he had to come back and do it again. And now he's in this deep class, and now he's like mixed and muddled in because he would have been the number one running back off the draft board last year when it came to Trey Benson and what's his face, Jonathan Brooks. He would have definitely been taking over them guys. I'm positive. Like I said, one of the best running back 2 years ago. Last year it was a down year, but here's the story on Oklahoma State. They have nothing. They are trash. I'm talking about they're losing 8, 9 games a year. They're like a 2-3 win team this past year. Like, you're not even getting there in bowl eligible range. Like, you're getting the shit beat out of you every night. Their starting quarterback situation, lowest QBR the past 2 years. It might have been the lowest out of the Power 5, but it was whatever the stat was. Bad. So no pass game to help him in these past 2 years, but none to help him this past year. So I think that's where you see the decline in his production. So in my total opinion of Ollie Gordon is he's good. And I don't want to drop him too far in rankings, but there's just a few guys I like more than him. But I just think his circumstances kind of hindered him a little bit. We're not really seeing the whole Ollie Gordon. I could easily see, like, if this dude, Ollie Gordon, just randomly went out there and was popping off, I don't know if I would be totally surprised because it was like, we couldn't really even see him too much in college because they stunk. They sucked. And I mean, what can you do? If your team can't even move the ball, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, that has a lot to do with it. It's just weird that the production went down that drastically in one season, and he actually put on some weight. What was his sophomore year was his great year, and he put on some weight come last year, so he looked a little different, a little bigger. But he lost a little bit during the draft. Like during the combine, ran a 4.61. Jumped 34 and a half inches. I mean, can't even jump over a Corvette, Matt. Like, some dudes are jumping over Jeeps, and he can't jump over a Corvette. That's all I'm just kidding. 34 and a half is just fine. I mean, but, runs upright. He's a hammer when he gets going, but like his short area quickness, short area burst isn't really there. I mean, I'm not super impressed with Ollie Gordon, but, he could surprise. I mean, he had one incredible year in college, but you don't like to see a fall off. But like you said, there's a lot of excuses you can make for the reason that he was a lot worse. Like, not even half the running back he was the year before.
Because one thing I wrote down was he was better out in space, but it's like, if you guys can't block for you, you're gonna be better out in space.
I did hear a stat on a podcast I was listening to. I don't have the exact numbers, but I can get it close. Like, in his sophomore year, he was averaging 4 yards before contact. Last year, 1 yard before contact. Well, like 1 point something. I mean, and the other year was like 4 point something. So that just shows you the offensive line was straight garbage. Can't really do nothing if you're getting contacted that early all the time. So it's kind of hard to watch him and kind of really see how good he is or not.
Yep. 6'1", so he's running all tall, looks slow. But I mean, it's just he's got a lot of circumstances around Ollie Gordon where it's like he could be good, he could be nothing. We'll see what these rookie mocks are looking, but he's definitely a second round guy in rookie mock drafts this year. He's not one that I see him competing for like the 111, 112 type deal like that. Especially because, I mean, we still got other guys to talk about who are pretty good too. So in conclusion for Ollie Gordon, I like him. I just like other guys better, and he just has a story with him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. And he just because of the combine, I do think he probably did drop down. Like he lost some money.
Yeah,
he lost a little bit of money.
So all right, well heck, let's move on. Dylan Sampson, Tennessee. To me, when it comes to rookie time, we're down here. For those who don't know, the Fake Stuff Podcast, it resides down here in Georgia and the Southeast. So when these SEC guys come up, they start flying up rookie boards and stuff like that.
Biased already. Coming in biased already.
So here we are, man. I just wouldn't even be surprised if Crapman came in here and was loving on Dylan Sampson. But here's the truth. Dylan Sampson, just like all these guys, are good. Way better than Ollie Gordon. I mean, would you agree with that, Crap?
Hey, man.
You don't think so?
Hey, you called it already. This is my talent-wise RB3 in the class. RB3. Yeah. Dylan Sampson, I got the best notes on him. He's freaking incredible.
Yeah, I'm going to let you take off on him, but my main thing, because, I was saying, I've been pretty much saying one thing about him real quick. 22 touchdowns, 5.8 yards per carry, 83 missed tackles. Look, he has a good spin move. I read about that, and then I went in there and actually watched him, and he does have a good spin move. The thing that I would say about him is good athleticism, athletic as a motherfucker, and I would rank him. I can't even say. I mean, he looks better than Judkins to me, to be honest with you, Kraft, man. I know that we're getting way up there, but Dylan Sampson, good. Tennessee had a little bit of a down year, but Tennessee always has a down year. So, Dylan Sampson, Crabman, go ahead.
All right, I'm just going to say just all positive things about Dylan Sampson because this is my guy this year. This is my guy. We'll see where he goes. So, but I got tough running between the tackles, even though he's smaller. We got good contact balance. The best vision in the class and reads his blocks better than anybody in this class. But he's not a great pass blocker. That's one thing that I could see. But you talked about his athleticism. He got clocked at 22 and 23 miles an hour last year. Only downside to his game is just he's not 220 pounds. And,
right.
He'd probably be best in a committee. I mean, I hate to say it. It probably would be best in a committee, but this could be one of them guys that can just, I feel like he's going to be a steal in this draft. Like, I hope he goes somewhere where he can earn the starting role and show out because I liked him a lot.
Yeah. I'm with you. I mean, would you take him or Devin Neal?
I would take Sampson.
So
he's more explosive.
So Crapman really throwing him up there. I really just, he's just like a lot of these guys. I just want to see where he goes. He gets that day 2 draft capital, and it's like he'll definitely fly on my draft board. No doubt about it. I knew you was going to like him, Crapman. Heck, I liked him.
I did like him, but one thing I can say is Tennessee, their offense is kind of fluky. They're not they're weird. You see their receivers, they spread the field out so wide that defenses can't load the box. He probably had I don't have any stats in front of me, but light boxes. Like he's not running against I don't know. The receivers are on the freaking sidelines over there. Yeah. They're 1 foot away from the sideline. So they just run a different type of offense. So it can make a player like this who's that explosive look a lot better than he actually is running against a bigger front in the NFL where they're loading the box up. So that would probably be the only, it could have tricked me, it could be like, oh, we got you. It's Tennessee. Jalen Wright did the same thing last year, right?
Yeah. Well, heck, I feel like Jalen Wright will probably see a bigger role this year. We'll see.
Shoot. I liked him last year, too.
We're going to definitely drop an episode talking about what we should do with running backs right now with this big draft class coming in, add that to the little strategy talk. But yeah, Dylan Sampson, Crapman definitely brings up some good points. He's definitely athletic, but also plays in that Tennessee offense. So we'll just see how it goes. We'll see where he lands, see what happens. Last one though.
You like him better than Judkins?
I'd easy. I like
Easy.
Judkins, but it's like it's just hard to rank these guys. I mean, I will take Devin Neal over Judkins.
I
But
like
I
him
listen
better
to
than
some
Henderson.
podcasts and they love Judkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a workhorse, or he can be. So this,
Right.
different kind of running back. The ones that we like
Well,
that
we
get all
got
the
one.
volume.
Right. We got one more for your ass. The first one, he was on the bottom of our list, but he was really the first one that I watched. Craft Man was Harvey, and I thought he was good. I was like, damn. I really did think RJ. He was honestly watching this film. He really was one of my favorite ones to watch. Just because Central Florida. I watched him in his game versus Florida. I think he was getting a little bottled up a little bit, but I think he scored a touchdown and broke out a couple big runs. That's when you're playing up in competition. But when you're watching him, my thing is he just always scoring touchdowns. And one stat that I was reading, because I don't just watch these guys, I read articles about these guys just to see what some people are saying. The success rate, he just knows how to get into the end zone, because the success rate inside the 10 was 72%. Like inside the 10-yard line, this dude's definitely going to go score. And that was like one of the top amongst running backs. But my thing is quick and tight spaces. He looks small. My thing is he's small, and he is a little small, 205 pounds. I mean, but still, I mean, when you watch him, yeah, I could easily see him finding a role in the NFL. And I hope he does, because he was one of my favorite ones to watch. Smaller school and stuff like that. Contact bound. Well, I thought he had good physicality, but it's just
kind of a
he
scat
just looks
back.
small. He's just definitely a scat back. There's no doubt about that. Definitely like somebody you hope he finds a good role in a good situation, and then maybe he'll be like a late second round kind of guy. But this right here is like a late second round, third round rookie draft pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. He's very explosive. Like we just mentioned, Dylan Sampson. Like he's around the same weight, same height, but Sampson was better in between the tackles. Harvey, tries to get everything, break it outside. It reminded me like Keaton Mitchell when we watched him. What was Keaton Mitchell?
Yeah.
Eastern Carolina, something like that.
What, Western Kentucky or no? You're right. It was Eastern Carolina,
something like that. The Pirates, man, they're Pirates or something like that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he reminded me a little bit
you're
like
right about that.
He's a good change of pace back, though. I think he's definitely going to have a role on offense. He's going to get a chance to. He's going to get a chance to, show what he's got and show his explosiveness. So I do like him. And what impressed me was he was good against good teams in college. I mean, against Iowa State, he had 25 carries for almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, you just look at his game log. TCU, 29 carries for 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, Arizona,
I was
184
impressed.
yards, 3 touchdowns. So the college production is definitely there.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, he was one of my favorite ones to watch. It's obvious you come in when you're doing all this film stuff. Of course, you're gonna like watching Genty and Hampton, like the ones everybody's talking about. But guys like RJ Harvey is really the reason why I even like doing this rookie content, honestly. Because I like to know what these second, third round picks. Because some people think second and third round picks are worthless, but I'm not really part of that. I ship them off all the fucking time. But it's like when you're doing these rookie drafts, you can make educated guesses on who you want to take in a third round. And watching RJ Harvey, if I can get him in a third round pick, I wouldn't be upset with it on a running back that could produce in the NFL.
I mean, the reason why these guys are funner to watch, some of them like Sampson and Harvey and like speed backs. Like when we watched Devon Achane, I was like, God, this dude is so much faster than everybody on the field. But like sometimes that don't translate as well. Like watching Hampton this year, it's like, man, it's kind of boring. Like this dude just runs people over, like gets 5 yards, 8 yards. Like he's not making people look crazy, look silly and breaking off 60, 70-yard touchdowns all the time. But it's like sometimes that speed don't really translate to the NFL because all of them are blazing fast.
Right. Well, shoot, crap, man. I mean, we just broke down 10 rookies for their ass. We moving on to wide receivers next. I mean, once we got through the running backs, we really gonna cruise through this. We're gonna hit some wide receivers. We'll probably hit quarterbacks in one episode. Tight ends, I don't know. We'll have to see. Might be one or two, but that's a deep class as well. We kind of mentioned that last episode, but this was your rookie breakdown of running backs. We'll probably add a couple more. Crap, man, what was the name? The guy from Virginia Tech ran the fastest 40.
Tootin'.
Tootin'. We're gonna figure out what the hell he's all about. He made him some money, and somebody else, crap, man. There was another running back.
Brashard, I think Brashard Smith.
Yeah, so we'll get familiar with their games.
Yeah, we'll mention them when we do our rookie drafts too, and we'll kind of talk about them as we're doing our rookie drafts because we'll probably do 4 rounds of it. So we'll get to all these guys for sure. Right. Some of them that we missed and kind of some sleeper picks in there.
So hey, when you're doing these, just go do your own due diligence on these running backs and stuff. You don't have to just straight up listen to all these podcasts out there. Go find out who you like. Go watch some of these highlights that you want to. What kind of guy you're looking for when you like doing this shit. So go find the players you like. Go target them in your rookie drafts, and that's all I can say. Just go target them in your rookie drafts. So just do what you want to do. That's like our main thing in this fucking podcast is like do what the fuck you want to do. But definitely that should apply rookie drafts, crap, man.
For sure. I mean, you're definitely gonna miss some too. Like trying to be ballsy and be like, oh, this is my guy, like Tank Bigsby. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've been there, done
like
that.
Some people drafted QJ. You know what I'm saying? Probably loved him, but you win some, you lose some. But hey, make whatever picks. I'm gonna go ahead and. We're gonna make this outro video. I've been saying it every episode, but thanks for listening to the podcast, and just keep following what we're doing. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Spotify. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts. Crap, man, would you like to add anything?
Nah, I'm good, man. I just appreciate everybody for listening, like I always say. But we out.
We out.
Peace.